The Possession of Michael King is a film that I have been championing for a while in the found footage subgenre. And yeah, so we got the holographic cover. Trippy. But yeah, when I made my like 10 lesser known found footage films, I thought that this was the hidden, one of the hidden gems, one of the 10 when I made that video. And since then, I've always wanted to rewatch it. And since for some reason I've had this hankering to watch found footage lately, I've been throwing a few on. And this is one that made it into the rotation. And yeah, let's talk about it. So I think that honestly, this is one of the best concepts for a horror film and a found footage film pretty much ever, if not the best concept for a found footage film. Essentially, this guy is an atheist, his wife dies, and he wants to show everyone the fallacy of belief. And he's going to fully document how bullshit everything is. So he's going to go out and he's going to have every ritual, every voodoo, every anything performed on him. All the satanic things. He's going to try to summon demons. He's going to have curses put on him, go to a voodoo person, whatever. And he's going to document this, and he's going to prove to everyone. But of course, in reality, there is a part of him that wants this to be real so that he can know that there's something after, and that maybe he can see his wife again, or maybe he knows his wife is still out there, whatever. So this, of course, is very similar to something like 1408 with Michael Enslin, how he goes and, he's trying to prove his daughter Katie is out there to himself by not believing and really putting himself into all these dire situations. So, maybe he can get a glimpse into the unknown and just kind of just try to get some kind of confirmation that there is something to all of this, that it isn't just random, and that a little girl like that could die. And this is very similar here. The main character guy kind of reminds me of Lance Preston a little bit, just in the looks and whatnot, from Grave Encounters, of course. But I will say on this view, I had some problems with it. I didn't think it was a perfect film, but I did like it for sure. I just had issues, and my issues really kind of all stemmed around how fast everything takes place. Now, I know that for some people that's good, let's get to it, why draw it out, this and that. But I think the way that this film would have worked a little bit better would have been had he went in and tried a few things first that were bullshit. But it's pretty much right from the jump. The first thing he tries, he's already running into some serious issues. Like he's seeing things that are beyond questionable. And we're seeing things that are like, okay, we're already here. Like, give us a few phony people, some total charlatans to start. And then from there, he encounters someone else, and then they fuck him up. And he's like, what did you do to me? What did you do to me? But like, I don't know. I never could even tell who really fucking did this to him, or if he just did it to himself or whatever. But I don't know. They just found, and also another issue is the fact that, and I get it, he's a skeptic, I'm a skeptic, but my skepticism only extends so far, and this guy takes it beyond what skepticism I would personally have. So there's moments where it's like, dude, watch the footage. There's no other way to interpret this. Fucking something is going on here. What are you talking about? So that drove me a little bit crazy, because I'm just like, this is stupid unrealistic in this sense of like, I'm looking for proof. Oh, I have proof, but I'm going to deny it, and I'm not even going to really look at it. Like, I don't know. That seems very questionable, but whatever. Anyway, so in the opening, he goes to his wife's psychic, who told her to stay in town because she was going to get an acting part or some bullshit. And he confronts her saying, look, you're interfering with people's lives with your lies. Like, if you wouldn't have told her this, she would have went and she would not have been hit, she would not have been hit by a car and killed. And he confronts her for the fucking liar that she is. These psychics, these mediums, it's all this nonsense. Personal. I know some of you out there believe in this stuff, and that's fine. I'm just going to give you my personal take on it. Because people always ask me, like, Jason, what's the harm? What's the harm? There's a lot of harm, in my opinion. Yes, there are going to be people where they have that placebo effect, and that person's going to calm their nerves or give them hope or whatever. But then there's a lot of people it's going to hurt. And, while she can't predict the future, and these people are adults and they're allowed to believe and come to her and she can provide that service, but I don't know, just lying to people for a living is just fucked up to me. Like, you're literally basing your entire life, like, hey, I'm going to provide you this service. I'm going to tell you that I can speak to the beyond, that I can, sense things, that whatever. And you're fucking lying. You're making it up. Now, if there's somebody out there, or if there's people out there that are legit, that actually can do this stuff and are providing a service, awesome. That's cool that you're using your talents and this and that. But I'm not convinced, okay? I am the Michael King of this world, and I'm here to tell you you're full of shit. And if you're not full of shit, please call up James Randi and collect that $1 million. Google it. Anyway, but I love that he goes in there and attacks her. I'd probably do the same thing. Like, you got my wife killed. She was supposed to leave, and she listened to your bullshit advice when you're manipulating people with your nonsense, and it got her fucking killed. She would have left had you not done that. Whatever. But anyway, I just really like that confrontation because it speaks to me personally, since I live in Psychicville, Sedona, and I just want to, like, slap every one of these people. And I like how he says he's the testing ground for all these curses and spells and whatnot. This is yet again where I'm saying this should have had some failures or successes, whichever way you want to look at it, as he didn't have anything happen to him and he exposed people. He went in and he fucking found the wires, or he found, like, that would have been funnier. That would have been him, like, questioning things. And that would have made more sense to when he starts not believing the truth, when it's all around him. He would be like, dude, I already fucking went through this with this guy and this guy and this guy. We found the wire, we found the smoke machine, we found the audio equipment. We were like Scooby-Doo. We fucking broke down, we figured it all out. Like, we're gonna figure this out again. And his cameraman or his buddy or whoever would have been there with him would have been like, dude, no, you gotta give it up, man. Like, this is for real this time. No, I'm gonna figure it out. I figured it out the last few times. You know what I mean? We're just lacking that in this film. It's just from the jump. There's no question that everything is real. Even though he goes to those people's house that are in, like, the little sex cult thing, and they're having sex around him and everything, and then when he comes back to confront them, they're like, it was all for fun. Like, it's not real, this and that. Shit starts happening to him very shortly thereafter. Maybe it's because he's seeking out the demons, and if you're seeking out the demons, anything you do will bring them to you. Whatever, I don't know. Of course, I think it's all nonsense, so nothing is true, but whatever. You know what I'm saying? With these guys, I'm just like, it doesn't hold water to me, like, within the film. But yeah. And yeah, I mean, this kind of plays out the last exorcism in the beginning. And that's what something I love about that is when Cotton's kind of performing his exorcism, it keeps, like, intercutting with him explaining how the things you're seeing are done. And you see, like, he has the smoke and the cross, and he has the speakers, and he has all that stuff. And he kind of lets you in on the magic trick. And that's such a great part of the movie. And then when Nell starts to do things, then he's like, no, this is mental illness. And there's so many swerves in that movie. That's why it's, like, my favorite found footage movie ever, because I just love all of the questions of, like, is this real, isn't this not? And that's why I don't like the ending all that much, because I would have rather remained ambiguous. With this one, they go full on. It's clearly possession, demon stuff, 100%. And that's fine. You can go all in. But just take your time just a little. Just a little. It's my opinion. And then, like, everyone keeps making him take drugs. Like, the kinky freaking people make him take acid, and then the mortician guy who sews dead teeth around his belly button. That's just crazy. They must have looked this up online. That seems very odd for them to make up. That seems like some voodoo shit, like you would read in some crazy book. But yeah, he goes in, he has that stuff put on him, and then that guy makes him take DMT from a frog. I guess that guy was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast a ton and wanted to drop some DMT. And you have to make the spirits believe you're dead. So he like puts them in basically like a grave and performs like your last rites or whatever. And that's pretty cool. I like that. He's making spirits essentially think he's died, and they're like trying to cross him over so he can make a connection. I like that. I think that's a really cool idea. And yeah, I put he's doubting too much because he goes to like the psychiatrist and they film it, and he literally vanishes from the table in a millisecond. Dude, watch that footage, bro. You really have questions after that one? Get the fuck out of here. And then he goes and he's like at night, he feels his sister up and like starts like playing under her panties with her pussy. And then he like looks back and he has like these demon eyes. And it's like, dude, did you watch that? Like, whatever. I'm assuming he didn't watch that video. I don't see how he could have. And then another issue with the film is that we can hear the voices in his head on the camera. That makes zero sense. None at all. Why would we hear the voices in his head? Because he's around other people and they don't hear them. So why would we be able to pick up the audio on the camera and the people in the room wouldn't be able to hear it? That's really dumb. So, yeah, it is what it is, though. I still really enjoyed the hell out of this. I still think that a lot of the horror elements and whatnot are very freaky. So, especially if anyone is a believer of this kind of stuff, man, he is tampering. And I'm not somebody who would go do this. Because as much as I don't believe, I don't want to go find out and be wrong. Like, there's always doubt, dude. You don't know 100%. I don't know 100%. I'm not going to sit here and say it. I just have my own beliefs. My own beliefs are that I'm 99% sure this is all nonsense. But I'm not going to go fucking push it. I'm not going to go and fucking like perform rituals and voodoo on myself to see if something's out there. Like what benefit is it going to have for me to be right? None. What negatives am I going to run into if I'm wrong? A ton. So there's no reward versus the risk. So why would I do this? Like, in the off chance I'm wrong, I doubt I am, but in the off chance, yeah, I'm good. I don't want to be possessed. I don't want to have fucking demons and trying to control me, get me to kill my kids or something like this movie. Terrifying, terrible. And then the whole like idea that he's going and running around to these people trying to like confront them, what'd you do to me, this and that, and he's still wearing like the body cameras and recording things and documenting it. Why would he be wearing those? I mean, I guess maybe to like show people that it is happening, and he's got proof now, so I guess he's committed to it at this point. I just don't see him running, like putting on the body cameras when he goes to like confront these people. I don't see him running in and grabbing body cameras. Maybe a handheld, but like putting on the gear and putting on no fucking way, dude. I just don't see it. Or maybe he's just still wearing it and it records forever. I don't know, but I just didn't buy that. Whatever. And yeah, and this is why I say like there's no way he watched the like finger in his sister part, because if he saw that, he would immediately be like, and why he doesn't get his daughter and his sister out of the house sooner is way beyond me. As soon as he's like, oh shit, this might be real, they're trying to get me to hurt people, whatever. Sis, I need you to take my daughter and I need you to get on a plane and I need you to go somewhere. Don't tell me where. Just get on a plane and leave. Immediately. So what the fuck is happening here? I have no idea. Why is the kid still around? And then he like kills the dog and he thinks it's his kid. It could have been his kid. And that's the stupidity of his character in that moment. Like, as soon as you know this is real, boom, kid's gotta go, man. You know, whatever. And then he tries to exercise himself, and that shit goes viciously wrong. Like, they're throwing him across the room, this and that. And then he tries to kill himself, and it won't let him. So he's like trying to stick it like knives into his wrist or like into his throat or like whatever, and it won't let him. Like the entity is like holding it back, and then he like tries to take pills and all that. It's great. I love that shit. Like him trying to kill himself and it won't let him. Kind of like in Paranormal Activity, the marked ones. Like it won't let the main dude get hurt. Like he falls backwards and it like coddles him and like cradles him, and it does not let him. Like, and then somebody fucks with him, so they like knock him across the park. That's awesome. I love that stuff, man. It's like, no, you're my vessel. You're not hurting yourself. I will prevent any damage to this body. You know, whatever. That's so good. That's so good. When he carves this star into his chest, and then he's like sewing it up. It looks so gnarly. It looks so real. I love it. And then also, the needle he puts into his fingertip, he sticks like a knitting needle or like a sewing needle into his finger, and he pushes it in. That looks super real too. Great stuff there. Really good effects there. I was really impressed by that. And then he has bugs on his skin one at a time, and no matter how many times he takes it off or kills it, another one appears instantly after. Could you imagine how annoying that would be? And he even has like a jar of like 1,000 he's taken off. He keeps taking them off, How he got him to keep in that jar makes no sense, but whatever. They would all just keep crawling out. Like, there's so many of them, and they can climb up that glass, so whatever, it doesn't matter, but they're all in there, and he just keeps plucking one here, one there, kills one, and another one appears. Dude, I would be annoyed out of my mind. I can't take it. I can't take having bugs on my body. It would be the worst. And then he goes out, and he's asked to like provide a soul, and he has this homeless guy, and he can't do it. So he instead like kills his friend, which of course is not his doing, like, to, you know, he's not complicit in it, but he probably should have killed that homeless guy. Not that homeless people should die, but you know what I mean. Like, you don't know that guy. He might as well just went out and killed anyone random. But he can't kill himself. So what do you do in that situation? Like, I'll just kill myself. You can't. It's your daughter or somebody else. You gonna pick a random person, or are you gonna pick your daughter? Sure fuck ain't gonna be my daughter. So sorry to all of you out there, whoever I kill, but it ain't gonna be my daughter. I'm gonna tell you that shit right now. He ends up killing his sister, so that's fucked. Like, dude, he really screws everyone here. And I like that he carries around the coin with him that his wife died with, the one that she went to go put in the parking meter and whatever, and put out in the road. And then that's on what ends up saving him in the end, or saving his daughter, should I say. He doesn't get saved. But the coin, he sees the coin, and then the mom kind of takes control for a second and gives him that break. You know, we've seen this 1,000 times, of course. Fight it, Jesse. Kill me, Lisa. And then boom, you know, he jumps out the window, kills himself. We've seen this many times, of course. But I like it. I like that there's like a totem of sorts that draws him back to the real world for a moment, so he can, you know, obviously we've seen this in The Exorcist, we've seen this in plenty of things. Father Karras right out the window. So very, very similar to that. But that stunt's actually pretty cool. Sure as shit looks like the real actor that does it. So really, really cool. And then the last scene of this movie where the wife goes out on the road and gets hit by a car and whatever, is that supposed to be surprising? Like, that we didn't know she was like hit by a car and that the coin had some significance to it, or like what? You know, the ending was kind of weird to me. Like, I was like, are we seeing this for a reason? Like, why couldn't we have seen this earlier in the movie? Like, it doesn't have any impact to it at all to me. It's very obvious that that's what happened. So whatever, I don't know. But yeah, super fun movie. I have my issues with it, but I still give it the big thumbs up. I think it's a really fun found footage film. I think the performance is good. I think the plot line is brilliant. I think the effects are great. I think the ghostly horror stuff is really cool. The demonic stuff, it kind of goes from 0 to 100 throughout, and a lot of shit continues to keep happening. There's some distortion effects and this and that I'm not fond of. You've got the audio expert that's like, there's no way your vocal cords can make this, and just typical tropes of the genre or the subgenre. But that all put aside, everything that is good is really good, and it makes up for anything that's lacking. So overall, still a big fan and still would recommend the hell out of it. So let me know if you haven't seen it, and if you're going to watch it. I don't know why anyone would sit through a spoiler discussion when they haven't seen it, but a lot of you tell me you do. You're like, I don't care, man. I love what you say so much that I watch reviews all the way through on movies I haven't even seen. So hey man, more power to you. It's your right. If this isn't something you want to watch, and you just want to have me explain it to you, and you get the whole gist of it, and you feel like you watched the movie, then that's what you can do. And you got this movie done in 21 minutes. But I don't think that's the way you should go about it. Maybe use this as a gauge, like, oh, I like to know what happens in the movie to see if it's worth my time. Some people are like that. I know a guy I know, Chance, is like that. He likes to have all the spoilers to all the movies. He, like, when a new Star Wars, like, we're big Star Wars fans, so that's how we know each other. And he, like, gets all the dirt. Like, he goes and he tries to find every spoiler. When The Last Jedi was kind of whatever, he was like deep. Like, he was like, I know everything before he went in the theater. I was like, why the fuck do you want to do that? And he's like, it just it doesn't bother me. I like to know going in. It's like, dude, I am so the opposite. I don't want to know anything. I don't even want to know what the fucking movie's about 99% of the time. So that's my own thing. Anyways, let me know if you check it out. Let me know if you've seen it, and let me know if you're one of those people that likes to have everything spoiled before you watch the movie. Everyone's different. Adios.